We know that there's a lot of squirming, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of just negotiating in the morning times with kids and parents of do they have to go to school and can they go to school at third hour and not first hour. And we try to cut all that out, right? We try to cut it all out. So those mornings that the kids are struggling going to school, they have a scheduled time with us before school. If you're wanting to skip school, if you're not wanting to go to school, you got to check in with us. You got to check in with us.
This struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever road we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
All right, y'all, we're back, and we're doing another day. We're doing another day together, another day of life. So thankful for this one life we were given, and we're back to doing community mental health, y'all. We're back. We're knocking on doors, a lot of school doors, a lot of Zoom meetings with school counselors and resource teachers and just all kinds of school people. Thank you. Big shout out to all you that are at school and just taking my meetings and calls. And you know, I do what I can. Midwest anxiety clients in my heart are number one. So I always try to get the most out of just school and that school experience for those clients. Just trying to help them feel the most comfortable, do the best they can. And so thank you, teachers and counselors and everyone else that I've been in contact with. It's been a full week. Actually, y'all, last week took a couple days off. It's a rare thing starting after August 1st. You know, August 1st starts the Midwest Anxiety New Year. And I dipped out for a couple days and went to Colorado. Great experience. I only went to Colorado because I went to see one of the places that is like on the top 5 of things that I wanted to do is go to Red Rocks, go to a concert at Red Rocks in Morrison, Colorado. Oh my gosh, if you're looking to go to a cool place to hear some good music, you gotta visit Red Rocks. Red Rocks, awesome. Went to hear the Revivalists, one of my favorite bands. The Concert T on today, the Revivalist. Just a great chill band I love listening to. It was a great experience. We went hiking, you know, we just did all that kind of stuff that you do in Colorado. Wouldn't want to live there in the winter, y'all. Would not want to live there in the winter. I bet it's beautiful, but in the winter time, boy, that driving up and down and all around, oh my gosh, you gotta have chains on your tires and all that. Instead of going north, I wanna go south. I wanna go where it's hot all year round. That's a different conversation for a different day. I'm off to see lots of clients today, headed off to a couple school meetings, going to some schools. You know what we do? We just do that MWA thing, y'all. So you're gonna ride along with me. I'm just going to talk to you all day long, so sit back, put on your seatbelts, and enjoy this ride around being a community-based therapist, y'all. Y'all, let's talk about our school refusal program, because it is the first week for some students, the second week for some other students, and we talked about it in the moms group this morning. If you're a mom and you are not in our moms group, you definitely want to get into our moms group. It meets Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. You can ask questions, I'll answer them, but there's a specific topic each day that we talk about. It's a great group of moms. Anyway, we talked this morning about school refusal, and y'all, there's 4 different reasons why a child would refuse to go to school. We talked about those reasons, but we also talked about with school refusal, you gotta hit it hard. I'm gonna tell you, School refusal, out of all the things that I work on with clients, school refusal is the toughest, partly because school is so long, right? It goes from August to May, so it's such a long period of time. But there's also so many variables in school. There are so many variables, and school is so important. If you get behind in school, then it's just like an avalanche. And so we, running the school refusal program, understand how important it is, and we prioritize and we just make sure that the kids, that if they aren't going to school on the days that they're supposed to, that we hit it hard. We hit it hard each morning with our school refusal kids. We know that there's a lot of squirming, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of just negotiating in the morning times with kids and parents. If do they have to go to school, and can they go to school at third hour and not first hour? And we try to cut all that out, right? We try to cut it all out. So those mornings that the kids are struggling going to school, they have a scheduled time with us before school. If you're wanting to skip school, if you're not wanting to go to school, you got to check in with us. You got to check in with us. We do a video call with you before school, and we talk about why you're not wanting to go to school today. What is it? Is it anxiety? Is it that you're tired? Is it that you're behind in classwork? What is it? What is it? Why aren't you wanting to go to school? And we talk about those things, and we work those plans out, both for kids and parents. But then you go to school, and then in the evening time, you know, if you really struggled, we have time in the evening time to be able to talk to y'all. So we sandwich the day where we have opportunities to meet with you as a student or as parents. We can talk with you. The point of all this is that I know that it takes lots of muscles, lots of strength, lots of perseverance to be able to knock this school refusal back. It is a big monster. It is a big monster. And you got to hit it hard. You got to be intense. You got to be strategic. You got to be consistent. Let me say that again. You got to be consistent. You can't take days off with school refusal. You can't take days off, all right? You got to be structured, and that's what we've developed in the school refusal plan. Y'all, it's a great plan, but you got to work the plan. If you get off the plan, you leave those little holes in the cheese open for our kids to like slip through those holes, to find those holes, and then that's where we really start struggling, all right? So right now I'm off to a school meeting to meet with the student and a school counselor, because we've got to talk about some things we're going to be working on to get to school on time. So hope all you families out there, parents and kids, I hope schools started off well, and that you're enjoying your time in school. Remember, during the week, work hard in school so you can play hard on the weekends. All right, y'all? All right, let's get this. Let's talk about something that is really controversial, that a lot of parents, they kind of understand, but it's so hard for them to implement that they just, a lot of parents seem to disagree with me on this, because they're just concerned about the overall well-being of their child, that it's really hard to implement this. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Your child, okay? Is it your job to make your child happy all the time? Is it your job to make your kid happy? The answer is no. No, it's not your job to make your kid happy. It's not your job. Whose job is it? It's your child's job. Your job is to influence your child and to support and guide, but your child has to make decisions for himself or herself about how they're going to live their life, all right? And if your child is unhappy, right, and you make your child happy all the time, well, guess what? They never have the opportunity. They never have the opportunity to be able to experience those other emotions, all the other emotions, sadness and happiness and frustration and excitement and irritability and frustration and all those other emotions that they have. They never get to experience all those because you want to make them happy all the time. You want to make them happy all the time. And so that seems to be the focus. But really, the focus needs to be on all emotions, happiness, sadness. All those emotions are they're normal, they're natural, they're important to feel, okay? And so I like to talk with parents about, we don't always want to focus just on happiness. We got to talk about the other feelings and normalize that experiencing the other feelings are important. They're not scary. It's not bad. You're not wrong. If you have a bad day and you're frustrated, okay, fine. You're normal. You're healthy. But sometimes what parents will do is they will emphasize only happiness. And then a child is not happy, they're sad, they're frustrated, and A, they don't know what to do with that feeling because parents always try to get them out of it. And B, they feel like they're a failure or something's wrong because they weren't happy, right? So my point in all this is, let's stop focusing on only being happy. Let's stop focusing on only being happy. Let's focus on that we experience a variety of emotions. And when we experience those emotions, it's up to you, it's up to your child to decide how they're going to handle those emotions. All right? All right, parents? All right, let's go. All right, y'all, let's talk about the morning and evening routines. I know that with school starting, there's gonna be more of a priority that your kid just gets the teeth brushed, gets the hair combed, get dressed, all those things, make the lunches, do all that stuff that you do in the morning time, and we need to be efficient with it, right? We need to be efficient with it because there generally is just not enough time in the morning. There's not enough time in the morning, so you're like, Randy, how do you get that stuff done without yelling at your kid? How do you get it done without yelling? All right, let's talk about this today. Let's talk about it. Okay, here's my thought, okay? This is what I do with clients. You have a times, like if you think about times in one column, times in the morning, or if it's the evening routine, times in the evening, and then you have the activity in the other column, right? So let's say get out of bed. So you want your child to get out of bed at, let's say, 6:45. 6:45 a.m. activity, get out of bed, okay? 6:50 brush teeth. 6:53 put on your clothes. 6:58 brush your hair, right? Whatever order you want them in. The main goal is, though, to give your child these kind of time expectations and then the activity beside it, because now your child can moderate the activity. They can do these things on their own with the time and then the activity. They can do it without you coming behind them and saying, come on, hurry up, because they already know the expectation. Because that's what we want. When you're a parent and you're trying to help your child, you want your child at some point to be able to manage this on their own. Why? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to develop children into adults, right? Trying to develop children into adults. And then along the way, they got to develop these skills. You're going behind them all the time. You're not doing this, hurry up. Then that's what they learn, is that they learn that the way to do things is mom and dad are going to help me. They're going to get upset. So get those times down, get those times and those activities. And then there should be a time where they should be done with all their morning routine, all their hygiene stuff. After they eaten breakfast and done all that stuff, you should put all that on the list. Time it out, and then they should be done. If they're done by that time, then you give them a reward. You can give them a random reward. Give them a random reward, okay? A random reward. Random reward means that it's not something that you say, hey, if you're done on time, you get the reward. It's a reward then when they don't even expect it. It's just kind of like a surprise. Give them a reward of something material or a privilege. Give them a privilege of some kind, staying up late, or their favorite dinner, or going by Quick Trip and getting something at Quick Trip after school. If they're not done on time, then they get a consequence. They get a consequence of for however long, right? For, let's say they're supposed to be done by 7:30 and they're done at 7:36. Well, they get 6 minutes to, when they come home from school, they have to practice doing the routine for 6 minutes because they were late by 6 minutes. So the consequence, the natural consequence is we're going to practice doing that routine for however long you were late in the morning, okay? Does that make sense to you? And what I've seen is if parents enforce doing the activities by the time and they back away, they definitely, you know, there's a learning period that goes along, okay, with it. Your child may not do it exactly the way that you wanted them to, but over time, your child will be less dependent on you for that morning or that evening routine. Evening routine is the same way. You give them times and then the activities to when they're going to get in bed. All right? Hope that helps, y'all.
On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup.